I don't know why exactly, but the Unicorn Mystery, which is one of the New Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley books, is the most rare and expensive. I won't say exactly how much I paid for this. It wasn't anywhere near three figures, but compared to the price of the average book, it was really overpriced. Well, I say overpriced. It's the last one in my collection, so I'm pleased to say I have a complete set now. But I was just shocked that it was 5 or 6 times the price of the other ones. And as soon as it arrived, I thought, well, I'm going to read it straight away to see if it's worth it. It is enjoyable. I did like it. It is good fun, but I don't understand exactly why it's so expensive. I do have to say the cover is absolutely gorgeous. And Mary-Kate and Ashley, the Trenchcoat twins, are going to visit their friend ahead of the flower festival. And their friend is growing tulips. And as soon as they get there, they realise that something is wrong. Something or somebody has been cutting off the heads of the tulips bit by bit. And the Trenchcoat twins take it upon themselves to try and solve the mystery and work out what is happening to these tulips. Obviously, we have the unicorn element, because it is the case of the unicorn mystery. And the unicorn is mentioned briefly at the beginning. And then later on, there's the idea that this particular village will have a unicorn present when there are 3 rainbows consecutively in 1 month. And it just so happens that 3 rainbows appear in this month. So there's also the mystery of whether or not anybody's actually seen a unicorn. I won't say exactly what happens with that, but I was kind of curious to see how they'd incorporate that. We do have a lovely picture of a unicorn. With regards to how solvable the crime is, I thought I knew. I really thought I knew who was doing it and why they were doing it. But I was wrong. And I was pleased to be proven wrong. And the person it was, I won't say, I'm not going to spoil it, but the person it was is actually somebody that I had initially suspected and then completely dismissed it out of hand because it just seemed to me to not be the path to go down. So I was really pleasantly surprised. It's definitely quite a magical read. I like the fact that it never necessarily says that you should or shouldn't believe in unicorns. Given the target audience, it kind of leans heavily on the fact that unicorns might exist, which I think is very beautiful. Usual text size, pretty easy to read. Target audience is usually the kind of 7 to 12 bracket. I don't care that I'm 30 years old, it doesn't bother me at all. I thought it was quite sweet. Definitely not my favourite of the ones that I've read. Oh, and for reference, this one's written by Heather Alexander, published in, I think, 2001, but let me double check. This is obviously an ex-library book. Trying to do this with one hand while I hold the camera is not easy. This was published, I think, 2001. Oh, this one was 2005, so this is definitely one of the later books in the series. I don't know if that goes anywhere to explaining why this particular one was so expensive. And it's not just a one-time thing. I waited a good few months to buy this, hoping that somebody would at some point would list it more cheap. They didn't, so I took the plunge. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm glad that I bought it. I don't regret spending the money on it. I now have a complete collection. Not a personal favourite though, but certainly not a bad read.